Continuing on with lesson 8, we're going to go over exercises 5, 6, and 7. And first of all, we're on page number 60 here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. All right, so we've got this company that is losing money. And in order for them to stay in business, they're going to have to either decrease the pay of employees or lay off. And what happened is people decided they would rather have less pay than get laid off. So the factory managers decided that all workers would get a 12% cut in pay. So they're getting 12% of what they made before, of their total, or the money they made per month or per week prior to that. So 12% times their total. Okay, I got this guy named Edward. His usual paycheck is $2,265. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to find out how much less money he'll get each month. So we're going to take 12%, because that's the pay cut, of $2,265, or 0.12 times $2,265, and that will tell us how much money his paycheck was cut. So it's important to note, we're not finding out how much money he's going to bring home. We're looking at how much money he is going to get cut from his paycheck. All right, so we will come up with how much money he is going to get in his paycheck down here on number 4. So first of all, we're trying to take 12% of the $2,265, which is what we did here, and you're going to put the answer here. What will he do with that answer? Well, he'll either add it to his monthly paycheck, subtract it, multiply it by 12%, or divide it by 12%. You decide there, and what will be the amount of his paycheck. So that's what you're doing there. And in this bottom one, on the bottom of page number 60, exercise 6, we have gardening services. So Leanne, or Lion, or I don't even know how to pronounce that name here, has gardening service. She charges customers a monthly fee for regular service, such as lawn mowing. She also charges customers for special services, such as planting flowers or bushes. She buys the plants and then adds 18% to her cost. Remember a while back I told you that most people, when they have a business, if they go and buy the product for you, they will tag on an extra amount, so they're making money off of the product they're buying you, as well as what they charge per hour. And that's what this lady is doing. She's charging 18% of her costs for the plants. She uses this chart below. She recently planted part of Mr. Rahal's front yard. Here is her chart. Complete the chart, then figure out how much Leanne charged Mr. Rahal for the plants. Okay, so lily plants, $4. She paid $12 each for them. 4 times 12 is $48. She's adding 8%, so she's going to say 18% of $48, and then she's going to add that to the $48 to charge this guy how much she's going to charge for the plants. So we're going to add this amount to this, because this is how much she paid for them. She's going to add this amount to it in order to charge Mr. Rahal this much. So she's going to do that with each one of these. So go ahead and fill that out. You're going to add these numbers up to get a total here, add these numbers up to get a total here, and add these numbers up to get a total here. So that's what you're doing for exercise 6 there. Now, if you look at the top of page number 60, there we go. It continues on. What amount did Leanne put on Mr. Rahal's bill? Well, that is going to be the number that you came up with in the spot right here. Okay, so that's the number they're looking for there. Okay, how much money did Leanne make on the plants? Well, you look at how much she paid for them and how much she charged for them, and that'll tell you how much she made. All right, let's look at exercise 7, pizza orders. So we got Pizza Palace here. And let's see here. Does it give us any information here on the pizza stuff? The week of August 13th to the 19th, I would imagine this is how many pizzas were delivered each of these days. And here, the next week, how many pizzas were delivered each of those days? How many pizzas were sold during the week of August 13th through the 19th? Well, that shouldn't be too difficult. How many were sold August 20th to the 26th? So you'll look at this one. Which of the following describes the change in the number of pizza orders? So we've got the number of orders here, number of orders here. Was there an increase? Is this number smaller than this? That means we increased from this week to this week. Or did it decrease? Is this number bigger than this number? If it is, that means we decreased. So what percent decrease did we have, or increase? That's what they want for number 2. So what you're going to do there, let's just throw some numbers out here just to show you what's going on with number 2. Let's say that there was a total of 40 pizzas sold here and 60 pizzas sold here. I'm just making these numbers up. So we went from 40 to 60. So the way to figure this out is a little bit confusing, so I don't expect you to become a pro with this, especially when we're only doing a couple problems here. But what I do is I look at these two numbers and I write a fraction. I put the biggest number on the bottom and I put the difference between these two numbers on top. Then I get out my handy dandy calculator and type in 20 divided by 40, or 20 divided by 60, and that gives me 0.33. Change it to a decimal by moving to a percent by moving the decimal over and putting the percent sign there. Okay, so you'll do the same thing with the real numbers when you add up these numbers up here, and you'll go ahead and what I said before, biggest number is on the bottom, the difference between the two numbers on top, divide, move the decimal place over 2, and you'll have your percent. And will it be an increase or decrease of either 91% or 9? So number 3, Anthony saw a 15% increase in pizza sales, and we got to figure out what we're going to do here from August 27th through September 2nd. So from the second week, which we have right here, let me get a different color here, that second week total, there was a 15% increase. So you're going to add this up to get your total. So it'd be total 15% of the total, or 15% times the total, or 0.15 times the total. That'll tell you how many extra pizzas were sold that week. Then you'll have to add it to the total number that you found up here when you added all these together. So this 15% just tells you how many more pizzas you sold. So you're going to take how many more pizzas you sold and add them to how many you sold the week before. And that will give you the answer to that. And number 4 is on page number 62. I'm not going to do that. And you are, though. And then the lesson review, which are a few problems. There are 5 problems on page number 62. And that's it for lesson number 8.